What is up, everybody? Darnell here from Cinema Critics, and today I'm going to give you my review and recap of The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 3, Monsters. So, I'm going to give my general review on the episode, and then I'm going to recap it, and then we're going to get in a little chat, and we'll talk about the next episode after that. And so the people who catching this on the replay, please like and subscribe for we're gonna do Walking Dead episode reviews every Sunday, a little after 10. So get used to that. Think about doing, maybe we'll do some Shameless, and we're definitely gonna be doing Vikings. We might do Vikings. Hey, what is up? Zara, what is up? You on a new channel? You on a different channel? So, oh, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so let's get into it. So, let's get into it. So, overall, I liked the episode. I liked it so much more than the previous episode. The editing is actually good in this episode. The emotion is actually good. You know, the back and forth between, you know, Morgan and everyone else, and, you know, they're all trying to figure out, you know, should we kill these hostages or not? You know, I'm really liking that because, you know, even Daryl. Oh, nice, good. That's good. You can catch up. It's you know, it's still early, so you can easily catch up. But you know, it's good to see the back and forth of like what they're going to do, you know, with with these hostages. And you know, it's all back to are we going to kill, you know, in cold blood or only in self-defense, even though they just ambushed, like that was the whole plan. They ambush all these guys. So, and they're, you know, so it kind of, you know, it's a little weird because, you know, Jesus group, they were killing, you know, that's when they had the paper showing all the different, you know, all the different, locations of the outposts and where they're hanging out at. They were killing those guys, but whatever, you know, that's Jesus. All right. So better episode. I actually like this episode. It was back and forth, but not crazy back and forth like the previous episode. So that's good. So, so I like the episode. Even ended good. No, he did not. I don't see Negan dying anytime soon. They really did something weird with that, because Negan, he got stuck in a trailer, but they didn't really show it, how he got stuck in that trailer. He just popped up in there. Somehow he got, you know, he was with the other guys, and somehow he got, they got separated somehow, you know. But yeah, don't expect Negan to die anytime soon. Maybe at the end of the season, maybe they'll stretch it out even another season. Yeah. All right, so the episode is called Monsters. First, it opens up with King Ezekiel and Carol. They're walking, and they're pretty much, they show them get ambushed. They show all the saviors all around them with the guns, but then they flash back about that they had a plan. They're just like, all right, we're gonna that we see them, they know we're coming, so let's prepare for it. So only half the group got, circled around, and then all the other guys popped out of the bushes pretty much and shot down all the saviors. Which I said to Allison, I'm like, what happened if one of the saviors actually just sneaked up on them hiding in the bushes? They had to know exactly which direction they're coming from for that to happen. So I thought that was funny. So they go to Rick and Morales. So Morales holding a gun to Rick, and he's saying, you're a monster, and what is he looking for coming here, and all this stuff. And they're talking a lot of back and forth. So they're talking about that. So then they go back to the frontline battle, which is very confusing when they're having this battle. But they go back to the frontline battle, and they're shooting at these guys, and then it seems like they're falling back. They're shooting behind them, and I guess it's walkers, because they didn't really explain that, but I guess they're shooting back at the walkers coming from behind them. So then they cut to Eric and Aaron. And, Eric got shot the last episode. So, so Eric is telling him, well, actually Aaron is like, hey, let's get back to Hilltop. We see if we can find a doctor and, have them, patch you up. But Eric is like, hey, you got to go back to the front lines. You got to continue this fight. He pretty much tell him, hey, I'm a goner. Just, go do your thing, So one thing about that, they didn't really show Eric enough to actually care about him getting killed. They did not show him really not that much at all. They should have built him up. If they know they're going to kill Eric off, show him a little bit more, even from the start of the first season, start of this season, show him a little bit more, so, we'll be emotional connected when he dies, because I didn't care that he got shot at all, because they barely showed him, and I didn't care about his character. So from there, they go to Tara and Jesus. They're showing them walking, Tara, Jesus, and Morgan. They're walking all these hostages of the saviors, walking them back to the Hilltop. And Jesus is like, we're gonna bring them to Maggie, and she'll know what to do. I'm like, yeah. All I'm thinking is, hey, Maggie's gonna kill these guys, because Maggie, she don't play. You know what I'm saying? She lost Glenn. She's no mercy, pretty much. That's what I was thinking. She's, out of all people, she should be no mercy. After losing Glenn. So Jesus and Morgan get into it about, Jesus is constantly saying, hey, we can't just kill these guys in cold blood. We're not going to execute these guys, And Morgan's telling him, like, hey, we got to do what we got to do. We turn into these guys when everything hit the fan, we got to do what we got to do. So, cut back to Morales and Rick. So they start talking a little bit more. Morales talks about that his family didn't make it to Birmingham. So they end up dying, his wife and his daughter or kid. I know he had a kid. I think it was his daughter. I'm not sure if it was a boy or not. But they never made it, and then the fact that that he was pretty much broken, he was hiding, and the saviors found them and, you know, brung them back, you know, like, you know, brung them back to reality. Rick tells him, like, hey, Negan killed Glenn. You know, I lost all these people. I lost people too. I lost, you know, we lost, you know, Lori, you know, like, you know, all these people died too. You know, we lost Glenn. You know, pretty much a lot, you know, that whole group in the beginning is all dead, you know. The only one who's still alive is Carl. Pretty much, right? Daryl, Carl. There's pretty much the only two that are alive. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Oh, and Carol. So, I hear you. So, now you like completely threw me off. All right. So.
I'm yelling stuff down the hall.
I know. I heard.
Morales had 2 kids.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, he had 2.
Oh, okay.
Boy and a girl, I believe it was.
All right. Thank you. You can just put that in the chat. All right. So he had 2 kids. So let's see. So Rick is like, hey, you know, are you Negan? Are you with the group? Are you Negan? You know what I'm saying? You know, and Morales is like, yes, I'm Negan. I'm one of these guys. So out of nowhere, Daryl pops up and shoots him right in the back of the head with the arrow. And it was like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, they souped this up so much. Well, not so much, but they souped it up. You know, someone's coming back from his past. Morales pops up, you know, all this. So I'm thinking, you know, they're going to, you know, Morales is going to be there for a while. And no, he gets shot and killed the next episode. Beginning of the next episode. It was like a waste. A waste. Like, you at least have him alive a little bit more. And he gets killed later on. But, like, and then he gets killed so, like, anticlimactic. Like, just bam, right in the back of the head. You know, they could have done that a little bit better. So, Rick's telling Daryl, you know, hey, we got to get out of here. Morales called the Saviors. You know, they're coming back. And right when they're about to leave, boom, Saviors pop up. So, the ones, so they go back to, you know, Tara, Morgan, and Jesus. And, the one guy, I don't know his name. He's one of the Saviors. Long hair guy. And he's talking to Morgan. And he's talking about him, saying, hey, you know, what's going on with your, you know, your he has some shoulder pads. And he was like, oh, them shoulder pads are a little small. He was like, why are they so small? Is it from a kid? You know, did you get that from a kid? You know, saying that his kid died and he took the shoulder pads, he's wearing them, and that set Morgan off. You know, Morgan's already unsteady. He's been unsteady since he lost his son and his wife. So, like I said before last episode, Morgan, he can't take it. Like, it's really bad for Morgan to lose people because he has problems. Like, seriously, he can't take stuff like that. And he's constantly been losing people close to him. And that's one thing I like about what they're doing with Morgan. Like, every time they put someone close to him, he's losing them. You know, he lost his wife and his kid. He lost the guy, I forgot his name, but the guy who gave him the bow staff. He lost him. He lost the kid he was training. So he's constantly losing people close to him. You know. So, so Morgan doesn't like it. He pulls the gun on the guy, And then they look, and all of a sudden you see a whole bunch of zombies coming down, doing the alky roll down the hill. So you see all these zombies doing some barrel rolls down the hill, and they start attacking people. And they're getting at the saviors first because they're all tied up in a line. So, you know, there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of cool effects of, you know, these zombie guys getting, the savior guys getting like bit in the face. You know, there's one guy getting bit in the face and there's blood just gushing out of his head, which is a cool shot. I'm glad they doing more with the gore in the show. Bring back the gore. Like they'll do the gore with the zombies, but that's not really gore. Do gore with the human people getting, you know, blood squirting and, you know. So that's good. So the long hair guy. I don't know, that's tough. I was saying that last episode. It's tough because, like I was saying, like same thing what Jesus was saying, like there's only two things you can do. You can either kill him or you have to jail him because you can't let him go. So what I said what I was going to do last episode, what they should have done, they should have just locked him there. They shouldn't even left with him. They could have just locked him in the compound where they left. They could have locked him in one of the, like in the basement somewhere or somewhere there and locked them there and then just left, you know, and let them, you know, have to figure their way out or something. Just, or, you know, do something. I would have left them there though. I would have locked them up somewhere. Or they could have, you know, I wouldn't have done it if I was in the, you know, I'd be like, all right, you know, if you got to kill him, do what you got to do. But I'm not, you know, I'm not being there. I'm going to start walking, catch up to me when you're done, you know. But, you know, they couldn't let him go. That's one thing. But I would have locked him up probably somewhere at that compound they were at. So yeah. So the guys run off, the saviors run off, and Morgan goes after him. So Morgan finally catches up to these guys, and they stop and like, hey, okay, you know, you got us, and boom, Morgan caps one of these guys in the head, and he's ready to just clear the whole group out, which I thought he was going to do last episode. So he's like, all right, you know, he's ready to just take everyone out, and then Jesus stops him. So you know, they talk, and you know, Morgan is like, hey, you know, we're the same as them, you know, we got to do this, you know, we got to kill these guys, they're gonna kill us. And you know, Jesus is like, hey, we need peace, we can't just kill these guys, you know. So out of nowhere, Morgan snaps. He goes after Jesus. And they had a pretty good fight. Jesus was showing the kung fu moves. They had a little kung fu battle, which is good. You know, Jesus always had the moves, but then they really showed, you know, that he was, you know, killing it. So they're fighting. So then they go back to Carol and King Ezekiel, and they're ambushing all these guys. Like, they're making their way to this big compound, which now we finally know where they're going, because we'll explain later, but they finally, you know, we finally find out where they're going. They're going to this other compound, this bigger compound, I guess. And so they're heading there. They're killing all these guys. They show this funny shot that Allison was talking about where, you know, the saviors are running past and they just pop up and just start shooting, but the saviors are still like running like nothing happened. So okay, so after that, Rick and Daryl, they're stuck in this hallway. The saviors are caught up to them, and they're being shot at. They're running out of bullets. So Rick, he shoots the fire extinguisher and it smokes a cloud, it gets cloudy up and they able to escape. And then I guess it's Aaron. They didn't really show who saved them, but it's like, I guess Aaron and the black guy, the bald-headed black dude, saves them. I believe they didn't show it. But then they go back to Jesus and Morgan. They're finishing off their battle, and then Jesus, he wins it. Takes the bow from Morgan, and he's like, "Are you done? You can't beat me. Are you done?" He's like, I showed you my style, and you can't handle it. So Jesus hands Morgan back his bow. He's like, all right, we're done. And then Morgan about to hit him, but then stops. And then everyone starts showing up, and Morgan is like, hey, you know what, I am going crazy, but you know what, I'm right about this. We have to kill these guys. And then Morgan's like, hey, I can't deal with this. I can't be here anymore. So Morgan leaves. Like I said, I'm really liking what they're doing with Morgan. He's broken man, and so it was really good. And then right before he leaves, Tara was like, hey, Morgan, I'm right there with you. We gotta kill these guys. Tara's seen, they killed Tara's girlfriend, so she lost someone too. So they show the hilltop, and Gregory shows up to the hilltop, and he's knocking on the gate, wants to come in. Maggie and other chick, forgot her name, shows up telling them like, hey, what do you want? And he's pulling up in Father Gabriel's car, and he's like, what are you doing in Gabriel's car? Where is he? And he's like, oh, I don't know, everything got lost in the shuffle, and this is where I ended up in the car. And then Maggie's like, nope, we're not letting you in. And so Gabriel plays up to Maggie. He's like, hey, you can't just leave me out here to die, have mercy on me and all this stuff. And he says he's sorry, for all everything he's done, and he was just saying that, I was just trying to survive in the whole mess of this thing with the Saviors and Negan. So Maggie lets him in. She says, he's not worth killing yet, So she lets him in. Then Jesus shows up, like pretty much right after. That's some teleporting right there, because if Gregory just showed up and he drove, and they were walking and they just showed up with the big group, so they teleported. So Jesus shows up the hostages, and Maggie's like, what am I gonna do with these guys? And Jesus is like, hey, we got some trailers in the back. We can't just kill them. We can just lock them up, and then we can, have people watch them, And I'm like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't bring them to your place and lock them up. I would lock them up back there and just locked it up and just left them, Because, if you bring them to your own place, they can get out and they're going to try to kill people. I guess, I don't know if they gave a direct answer or not, but I'm not sure if Maggie actually said yes or not. But they cut to Rick and the group, Aaron, all that. They're cleaning up from the frontline battle, taking out clearing out the walkers. And then they show Rick taking pictures of the Saviors. Now, we caught that in, I think it was episode 2, where they were taking pictures of the Saviors as well when they had all the hostages from. No, that's what it was. When they caught that first group of hostages, there was someone else taking pictures as well. So they're, for some reason, they're taking pictures of all the saviors. I don't know why. I guess hopefully they'll explain that later. But they're taking pictures of all the hostages of the saviors. And then they find Aaron. They go back to Aaron, and he goes looking for Eric. Sees where he was at, and he's not there anymore. So Eric's looking, and there's a lot of blood where he was at. So Eric turns around the corner, and he sees Eric zombie walking away. And it's weird because they didn't show a close up of it, which is weird. They just showed a long shot of Eric walking as a zombie, which you couldn't even tell. It could have been just an extra pretending to be Eric. You wouldn't even tell. You couldn't even tell. He probably didn't have to even put a makeup on because you seen his back, and he was such far away, you know. So Aaron, hit Aaron. Aaron's crying. You know, his boyfriend is dead. He's a walker. So, and it cuts back to Rick. He's walking out with the baby. I forgot the baby's name. Gracie, something like that. I think it was Gracie. So he's saying, someone has to bring this baby back, baby to safety. And Aaron takes the baby, and he volunteers to bring the baby to Hilltop, because him and Eric was going to go to Hilltop and inform Maggie what was going on with the situation. So so he leaves. Rick and Daryl are talking what they're going to do next. But all of a sudden, Rick gets shot at. So they're Rick and Daryl are both hiding, and Rick finds out there's only one guy behind a tree, and he tells him, "Hey, if you come out, because there's the horde coming. If you come out, drop your gun, just tell me what we need to know. We'll let you go." So this guy, he's like, "All right." Comes out. Rick asks him, "Where's the guns?" And the guy tells him, "Hey, they're at the other outpost to the west," which we find out that's where Carol and King Eagle are heading to. That's the actual outpost. And so they find out, all right, that's where the guns are. So there must be a good amount of people there. And so Rick seems like he was going to let him go. The guy asked, "Hey, are you going to let me go?" And then boom, Daryl, caps him right in the head. Now, I'm surprised because Rick, normally he'd be killing people, but I think that thing that really got him was the Morales thing. I think that kind of like put him on edge. That him and Morales were talking about if Rick had the gun, he would have killed Morales right there. And Rick was like, "Oh, I wasn't going to do that. We could have found a different way." But who knows? Would Rick kill Morales if he had the gun, knowing that, hey, you were part of the original group? So that's one thing to think about. So so I forget what Daryl said after he killed the guy. I'm not sure. But whole thing with Daryl is no mercy right now. You got to remember, Daryl got locked up by these guys. They did Daryl dirty for a while, and he had to escape. So, Daryl wants to kill them all. Daryl is like how Tara feels. No mercy. So they go back to King, Ezekiel, and Carol. They made it to the compound, which I believe is the compound, or they just got there. It seems like they just got there. They took out a couple more people, and King. I knew something was gonna happen because they've been saying it the whole time. King Ezekiel was like, "Hey, no one has died. We're gonna go through this without anyone dying." And at first, I thought Shiva was gonna die because they keep saying this, but it was so obvious something was gonna happen the way it looked. He was like, "No one has died yet," and I for some reason thought, like, they showed the one guy, and I thought he was just gonna get sniped in the head, like the guy happened what 3 seasons ago, where the guy gets shot in the head out of nowhere. So King Ezekiel looks, he sees like a gunman in a window. He tells everyone to get down. A couple people get shot. It seemed like multiple guns were shooting though, because one gun like just mowed down like a whole bunch of people. So maybe it was a couple people shooting, and so a couple guys get killed, and then they show King Ezekiel about to get shot, and like multiple people jumps in front of him to take the bullets, which is crazy. Like they all thought it at the same time. It was like 4 people, and they thought to protect the king, and they all jumped in front of him and took bullets. And then that's the episode, which it ended really good. That was a good way to end it. So they go. So yeah, so good episode. Really enjoyed it. Good editing this time. I'm really liking the whole concept of with Morgan, Jesus, Maggie, and what they're gonna do with these hostages. You know, same thing that happened back with it happens before. It happened with Tyrese, with the whole thing with him and taking the one guy hostage, and he was gonna kill a little ass kicker. I forgot her name. Jeez. So it's playing a big thing. It's like, you know, these people are good. They're just trying to look out for themselves. They're not trying to kill people in cold blood. But it's like, well, when do you decide to just take it them fully? Like, surprised Rick, because Rick was like that recently. Like, he was just killing people. He didn't care. Now all of a sudden the whole thing with Morales seems like he's holding back a little bit, and Daryl is, straightforward, heading forward. Even it seems like even Carol is holding back. At one point she was bloodthirsty. She was just killing people. She had to do what she had to do. Now it seems she's overthinking things too. It seems like this whole time her with the king is like she's just following what he's saying, but deep down you can tell she's like, she's trying to calm herself down from going, full bloodthirsty and becoming a cold-blooded killer. So we go to the next episode. Previews for the next episode. They show Rick and Daryl. They're heading to this outpost, and it looks like they meet up with people, meet up with some of the saviors while they're heading there, and they're battling them out on their way to the outpost. Carol, she was checking out the outpost, like the outside area of the outpost, and she runs into people. So there's still men there. So looks like that's going to be the next episode. Is going to be, King and all that. Obviously I think he survived it. So the King, and their people dealing with the other saviors in that compound, and Daryl and Rick are trying to get them to help them out. So, any guys want to leave some chat? Want to talk? Any questions? Now is the time. But yeah, good episode. It's good. It kept you going. It wasn't back and forth so fast. And I really enjoy this episode. I'm happy that and I really like, hopefully it's gonna come down. You know, probably the second half is gonna be so slow, but I'll give it some this you know, beginning of this season has been action packed. You know, I was wondering like how are they gonna do this? Are they gonna every episode is gonna be a war, like each episode is gonna be a little battle, but they've been doing it. You know, I wonder when they're gonna slow down in between. You know, they can't do every episode like this. Maybe they can, I don't know, but we'll see when they slow down. You know, but I think that's good. Thanks to everyone who chatted with me. If you guys catching this on the replay, please like and subscribe. We'll be here Sundays, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll be here. Next week, you'll have Beth with us. She'll be finally back from Hawaii, so you guys get to hang out with Beth as well. And also, guys, we will be doing movie commentaries. We're going to be adding that to our reviews and our live streams. So I think our first movie commentary, I think we might stream it for the first episode. But what's going to be really cool with these movie commentaries, you guys are going to pick what movie we watch next. So we'll pick, obviously we're going to pick the first movie, but then we're going to give you a list and you guys get to vote on what movie we do commentary for next. Some will be live stream, some will be just audio, some will be having video as well. I think all the older public domain movies we'll do. We'll do the actual movie itself with it, video, but most of the stuff will just be audio. I don't want to get any copyright strikes. I got a garbage copyright strike, well, not a strike, but a claim on when I was playing the trailer of this show. Not by AMC, it's by some random group, so I don't feel like dealing with that. So that's why we're just showing pictures in the background and not, normally I would show the trailer, the episode trailer on loop, but we got to show pictures because I don't want to get a claim on some stupidness and they'll shut the stream down like last time. But thanks guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and if you're catching this on the replay, let me know what you thought of the episode. Put in the comments below, and we'll catch you on the next episode next Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Catch you later, guys. Peace out.